make a couple of announcements if that's okay.
That's
Well,
fine. You do that first.
Yeah, why don't you start it off?
Okay.
I'm going to mute everybody. So you have to come off mute, and then we're ready to go.
All right, guys. Well, good morning, and appreciate. I always appreciate Dan and Lawrence and all these guys do, especially with this call and everything else. But wanted to jump on this morning and just make just a couple quick announcements. Make sure everybody's aware. First off, they are changing over starting tomorrow from the current system to the Equinox system, which is huge. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. What this will allow us to do from a ordering standpoint, from using Stella and Vera, just kind of moving forward. This is going to be the future. Now, having said that, there's always going to be a few hiccups, right? Expect the site to be down, I believe, over the weekend at least. Expect some different things that are going to happen. Expect that not everything's going to work the way that we thought it did, or thought it should. There's going to be some differences. The biggest one of the which is for our group. I was informed last night that our healthcare package for signing up a scanner, we are not going to be able to place those orders starting tomorrow until the 24th of the month. And so with that being said, I mean, it should not affect our month. We need to make sure that we're aware of it. But if you're placing this order with a physician, you just need to tell them that. I think you still gather all the information. They are used to they're not used to a week turnaround kind of thing. I mean, Dan, you can kind of attest to that with me that they're used to, if they place an order, they're used to it waiting 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks or so to be getting all of the things that they ordered or whatnot. And so this is just going to kind of be one of those things that we just need to know the timing ourselves. Hopefully it's sooner, but they're projecting it being out until the 24th. Yes, they will be able to place the order today. So if you have anybody on the fence, you could talk to them about placing it today and what that would mean, how we could get things moving forward. We may be able to start working, and we can get their scanner lease filled out, and we can get them started working on those leases, saying, hey, get everything in line. I've got all their credit card information and everything to place the order, so that can go out, can be ready to go out as soon as that order is placed. So it's just communication, guys, and setting expectations ahead of time. But I wanted to make sure that everybody is aware of that, kind of going into this weekend, and kind of where we're at with that. Are any questions when it comes to that? Yeah, I would say that the one thing I would not recommend doing is telling people, well, we're switching over the system, and it won't allow us to place the order for a couple weeks or whatever. You're just going to go down a rabbit hole, right? I mean, they don't understand what you're talking about. They're not speaking their language. I would avoid that specific conversation. I would just set expectations accordingly, gather all their information, and then we will definitely let everybody know of when that order can be placed. Hopefully it's sooner than later, but the way in which we've created that package, the parameters and everything are out of whack, according to the guidelines they normally have to do. And so they have to manually put in that package after the fact, after they make the whole change. And so they're just kind of warning us that it could be a while. I'm really hoping it's not 14 days, but it could be, and that's what they've projected so far. So wanted to
Hey,
jump on
Scott.
here and make sure everybody was aware of that. Yeah, Dee Dee.
So on the Stella app, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but I called Newskin. Do you know when the search capabilities are going to be on the Stella app? Because it's not, you can't actually search for a product. They just load and load and load. So I didn't know if you knew, I hopefully with this new system, we'll have the search capabilities like we have with my Newskin.
Hopefully we do.
Okay, good.
I don't know specific dates when it comes to Stella or Vera when things are going to happen.
Okay.
Just know it's continually being updated. I mean,
Okay.
what where it's at now versus where it was 30 and 60 days ago is pretty incredible. So
Yes.
I was in a few chats yesterday talking about it, but they're pretty non-committal when it comes to specific dates for specific functions, kind of thing. But I know all of it's in the works. I know it's all coming. I believe the switch to Equinox opens up quite a few things. But yeah, I don't have a specific date for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Scott, I've got a question. As far as the scanner lease agreement, are we still able to fill that out and get their number and so on?
You're able to fill everything out. I would fill everything out. I mean, personally, when I'm working with a healthcare provider and they say I want to move forward, I have them fill out everything on the scanner lease agreement, and I add a birth date and I add the CVC code to their credit card.
Right.
If you add those two things to the scanner agreement, then you're able to sign them up and place the scanner, all in one, and so they feel like that's their paperwork. So I would collect all of that information. I would submit the scanner lease for them, and so that it's working on it. I'd submit it by email so I can explain in an email, hey, we're not able to place the package yet. Because I don't know if the scanner team's aware of that or not. I'm hoping they are, but I have not spoken with them. And so just say, look, we're not able to do this. Please get this all prepped and ready to go so that the moment we can place the order, this is be ready to ship out as well.
I'm not sure if I got my answer though. As far as getting their brand affiliate number, would we be able to have that?
Yeah, I mean, you could sign them up, but you just can't place the healthcare provider order.
Okay.
So yeah, you can sign them up, put them in the system. That's a good point. Yes, you can do that, and have everything ready to go.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Hey guys, lastly, I mean, the Lash and Brow launch on the 22nd, guys, it's gonna be a really big deal. And I am the first to admit I never thought I would be talking about, about Lash and Brow serum or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, as I've talked to customers, I've talked to friends, it's been very easy to bring it up, very easy to talk about, and very few questions. It's mostly just been, wow, either they say wow and kind of move on, or they say, all right, I want some, like, how do I get some? I want to try that, or whatever the case may be. There are a lot of people that are selling the heck out of this stuff. I mean, as of last Saturday, there's a lady in California under Dan McCormick that she had pre-sold 25 bulk kits. She'd made $12,500 worth of retail profit only, thus far. That was a week ago. So there's a lot of people out there, having a lot of success, and putting a lot of really cool tools together and stuff to do it. But in fact, I'll throw it in the chat real quick. There was a webinar that sorry, hang on one sec.
To help us make better decisions when it comes to product development.
So for any of you that are interested, this is a Zoom call that it's kind of long, but Buck McMurray did with a couple other team elites in their group the other day. It's worth listening to. He talks about AI and how to utilize AI in your business, but then also how Nu Skin's utilizing it, you know, in our business, and you know what the future is going to look like as far as, you know, what they're doing internally and stuff, particularly with Stella and Vera and how that's all working. You know, guys, that I don't know if you noticed, they launched a new product this last week that you could only buy through Vera. That was a new blemish cream for the Lumi Spa. And it's things like that that hope you don't really think of, right? That aren't that big of a deal. But what if you had 1,000 people that were on the Vera app that were utilizing that, you know, and all of a sudden they launch one product, they push that notification out, you know, you have nothing to do with it. You have no idea that it's there, that it's needed, that it's coming, and bam, you know, they launch a new product and they've introduced it in a professional manner to 1,000 of your customers, or 10 of your customers, or 100. You know, it doesn't really matter the number. The winner is always going to be the person that has more people connected to that app. I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to long term, where things are at. This Lash and Brow Serum, they truly believe in the United States it'll be the biggest product launch we've ever had. They expect to do 16 million plus between June 22nd and the end of June. And that would make it the biggest launch that the US has had, you know, in its history.
In
You
a
know,
month?
8 days.
16 to 20 to 6 days again?
16 to 20 million this month,
Wait,
June 22nd to the end of June. That's what the company expects to sell of this product, right? This product, if you looked at the roadmap, and you know, Steve and I have had meetings with Steve Hatchett, we've looked at the product roadmap many times. They have never had this product on the roadmap whenever I've seen it. It's never been a product that is on the radar or anything like that. What ends up happening is, because of the machine learning, the AI, and particularly they've got the ability to listen to social media so that they can follow trends. They're not listening to people specifically, but to what's being said specifically. Does that make sense? And so when they're out there and their computers are able to listen to this stuff, what they're tracking, they originally did it so that they could track particularly what large leaders in Nu Skin were talking about. They wanted to know specifically, because what would happen is they would all of a sudden they'd see that, all right, we're selling, you know, let's say 1,000 a month of this one specific product, but then all of a sudden on social media, people started talking about that particular product, real, you know, in a big way. They started really talking about it, marketing that particular product, and all of a sudden they were selling, you know, in certain cases that jumped from 1,000 a month to, you know, 50,000 a month. And, you know, and so they were, you know, having inventory problems. They were stocking out of products very quickly, because you just don't carry that much inventory on a product that you're only selling 1,000 a month of. And so they started listening to the trends and what the topics were that people were discussing on social media very closely. But in doing that, this data lake allows them to aggregate all of this information in one spot and really look at it and really, you know, really learn from it. And one of the things that they learned was that there were specific ingredients in other lash serums that were becoming problematic. And I can't remember the exact name of the ingredient. It starts with a P, but it was causing, you know, problems, and those problems were leading to class action lawsuits. You know, and these companies are being sued. They've had to pull the product off the market. Like, it's become like this really big deal because it was causing, in some cases, extreme cases, blindness or, sight problems and things like that. And so it was obviously, really bad, but it pulled off the market virtually every non-prescription version of a lash serum. And so they were able to see that, create and formulate a new product without that type of ingredient, do clinical studies, manufacture the product, bring it to market in about 8 to 9 months, and put this out. And all of a sudden we're talking about a product that, guys, it was not on the roadmap, but because of Empower Me, they saw the need and they said, this fits in with what we're doing. And now they launched this product. Now this product with there's one other network marketing company that had an inferior product. They've had to pull it off the market, but they were doing $300 million of sales of just their lash product. The before and afters weren't half as good, 0 clinical studies behind it. None of that information. And so we really think that we can do some major business with this product. It's allowing, many groups to sponsor a lot of people, to really grow very quickly. It has nothing to do with why I joined the business, but it does have 100% to do with why I'm a part of this company. Understanding where this can go and why this company is better than most, and in moving things forward, because all of a sudden now we have the ability to, I can sit down with Dan and talk one thing, with Lawrence and talk another, with Ron and Carol and talk a completely different, and there, you guys can get excited about all these different avenues and all these different things. But then I look at my business now, 21 years after starting, and I have been mostly excited this entire time about the scanner, about LifePak, and about this family of products, right? This is my main focus, but it's now 50% of my check comes from skincare, and I've got groups all over the world that don't even talk about or know about the scanner at all. How does that even happen? When you really think about it, how is it that, that your group grows to the extent where you're no longer needed and they're talking about something completely different, about an opportunity and driving a business forward that is completely different than why you started the business or what you're trying to get out of the business? And that's what's so amazing about this company, about the opportunities that are at hand. But what we've got to do is just go out there and market, talk to people, and move this forward. I've been amazed at how many eye doctors have taken this lash and brow serum and really run with it. A lot of optometrists are really pushing this hard because it fits right in their wheelhouse, and they're able to pre-sell a lot of it. And so there's a lot of different ways that this can go, but to me, it's all 100% positive, and if you're completely scanner focused, I don't want this to totally derail you. What I want you to do is just really understand the advantages of being a part of this company and what this can do to help your business as it grows and as it gets bigger. And the more people you have using Vera, the better. That is really going to be what changes things over time. And it doesn't matter if they started using Vera because of LifePak, because they got scanned, because they bought toothpaste, or because they bought this lash product or LumiSpa. It's pretty amazing how it all comes together. So we've got to open up our minds and get smart when we're doing this business. A lot of places we can take it. So that one announcement kind of hijacked your whole call, Lawrence and Dan. I'm really sorry.
Actually, we'll
We
use
didn't
you,
really have anything to talk about anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure.
we'll use you as a poster child for the brow, the eyebrow.
Oh, you should have seen my eyebrows before this. It's
Does anybody have any questions or anything?
I just have a comment, that's all. I mean, I've never used this stuff ever in my entire life, and I'm so young anyway. But I have seen the results in about 3 weeks, and I wear contacts. I have no issues with it. So you just have to go out and talk to people, and I think it's just an incredible, incredible product. I'm really, really excited for this.
I will tell you, the lady that had pre-sold 25, it was not social media posts. She ran a list that here's the last thing I will tell you to do. Go onto your volumes in Genealogy. Go under groups. So your circle group. If you click on groups, it will pull every single person and then filter it so you can see all. Okay, I did this yesterday. I had 733 people in my circle group. And then you can filter it by last order, or you can filter it by people who haven't bought in 3 months. You can do all kinds of filters. When I filtered it by last order, I had 80 people in there that have not done anything in 6 months or more. And why not be texting, emailing, putting together then you can export that entire list to an Excel spreadsheet, and it'll give you the name, the last month they ordered, their email address, and their phone number. And so then you can, plug that into an email list. You can plug that into a text list. You can put together a little script or a video or something that you can share with them. This lady that sold more than anyone else I know, she took that list and she just called every customer on it. She called every person on their circle group list, and that's who she sold it to. It wasn't social media. It wasn't some big marketing thing. She just called them. Like that. I mean, it's just old fashioned. How you doing? What's going on? Let me tell you what we have that's new, and sold, I don't know, 250 plus of these things, and just kind of starts going from there. So, there's not a lot of special to it, and it's not difficult to explain to people. The before and after speak for themselves. I would go to SmugMug. I would, pull up any of those, and I would text people, text people off that list, send them some before and afters, say I'm taking pre-orders, you can Venmo me, and I just look at it from there. Every bulk kit is 18 serums, and every time you retail those 18, you make $571 profit, plus the volume on the wholesale side.
Right. I have to say that I was shocked by, I took a four-week picture and I was truly shocked. I didn't realize it's so subtle that you don't realize. So I've been using my before and after pictures and showing my colleagues at work, and I'm getting orders that way. So
That's
it's
great.
just 4 weeks. It's just amazing.
That's awesome, Carol. I mean, the stuff works, it really does work. But I've mentioned this before. I was blown away. My mom came to visit a couple weeks ago for one of my daughter's recitals. And she just asked me, how's work going? What's going on? And it was like 2 days before the brand reps could get it. And I told her, I said, well, we're launching this product, and stuff. And she looked at me, she's like, really? She's like, I want some. And I was like, really? And she's like, she goes, well, I've been buying mine out of India. And I was like, I had no idea that that's what you were doing. She's like, for like the last decade, she's like, she named off a friend that I knew of hers. And she said, yeah, she turned me on to this stuff like 10 years ago. And I buy it, and it's a pain in the butt because it comes from a company in India. My credit card company like cancels the order like every other month. So I have to call them, and I call the company and get them to ship it again and stuff. But she's like, but it seems to work for me. So I keep doing it. And I'm like, are you serious? And so she called me like, it was like 2 days later after she got home. the day that I said it was launching. She said, hey, you remember you're getting some from me today, right? Like, she's like, I want this stuff now. And so I had to track down a brand rep that I could steal theirs from so I could buy her some. But I was amazed by just my own mom of, how much people want and, want this stuff, use it, are spending money on it. The last scanner operator I just sponsored one 2 weeks ago in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And when I was talking to her about the scanner, how to get it going and everything, I just happened to mention this lash stuff. And she stopped and she's like, why didn't you tell me sooner? She's like, I just bought 5 months worth of Latisse from my doctor like yesterday. I was like, serious? And she's like, yeah, but I still want to try your stuff. Like I want to get going on this. How do I do this? And I showed her some before and afters, and she pre-ordered some. So it's pretty amazing stuff, how it works, but appreciate your guys' time. Dan, Lawrence.
Thank you. Well, Lawrence and
You're
I
all set for
finally,
next week. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Lawrence and I finally, after 5 years in the business for me, we finally cracked the code this week. We each placed 35 scanners, but we'll have to wait till next week to give you guys all the recipes.
keep you guys in intense and ready to go. Like everybody and anticipate next Friday's call.
Exactly. So,
All right.
Well,
Thanks,
be-
guys.
Be
Thanks.
safe. Enjoy Switzerland.
I'll
Thank
see
you
you
very
later
much.
on.
Yeah, thanks for the update, Scott.
Thank you.
All right.
Safe travels.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great weekend,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Have a great weekend,
You-
everyone.
See you guys.